What's up, everyone? Travas or Trevor here, bringing you all back a brand new video. Today, I'm going to talk about how I came from being unproductive to becoming more confident and happier. Dealing with mental health isn't going to be all easy. It's not going to be all hard. There are going to be times where it's easy. There's going to be times where it's hard, and all in between, which is the same with life. If we rewind to the summer of 2020, that's the last time that I was in school before this past year. And during that time, when I wasn't in school, during just after the winter semester of 2020, I was not being very productive. I was just not busy and not busy enough to keep myself occupied, and my anxiety. So since I wasn't being very productive, it really wasn't helping my mental. So what I found to be the case was when I'm not busy, my mental health declines because of that. So when I am not busy, when I'm having too much free time and not having things planned out or having ideas to, oh, I should do some chores, or hey, I want to work on a little passion project, or any little thing that you can do during your day. I really wasn't doing any of that. I wanted to have as much free time as I could, but that really affected me in a bad way. And at times, during that period from the winter of 2020 to basically August of 2022, basically when I was staying inside all the time, I noticed that it really wasn't helpful for me. I noticed I started staying inside all the time. I started to isolate myself from everything outside because I didn't want my anxiety to affect me. I didn't really want it to, even though it was already affecting me in the first place. And that's why I was already staying inside and isolating myself. The reason I didn't go outside and do many things is because I felt stuck. And the reason I felt stuck is, this might sound weird to some people, but I felt stuck because I was basically afraid of going outside, or afraid of doing a lot of things outside. And I was also anxious because I was just anxious of being inside. So basically it was either go outside and feel anxious or stay inside and feel anxious. And there wasn't really any easy out for that. And that really made me anxious. So basically, eventually, I decided to, hey, I'm gonna look for a school program that I'm interested in, and see what I get into it. So basically, going into a program would help me get out of that slump. Plus, it would also help me with having things to do. Basically, I'd have to challenge my anxiety either way, because living the way I was, it wasn't fun. It was boring. There's too much free time, which is funny to say. And I just wasn't happy. During the time off I had, I was noticing a lot of challenges I was having with staying inside all the time and not doing much at all. And that was the result of being the opposite of busy. So just having too much free time, like I said before. So I eventually started looking at programs, things that I could get into that I think would help me find a job quickly, or even just eventually. I'm a big hockey fan. I'm a big sports guy. So when someone threw out the idea of sports journalism, I almost just said hockey journalism. I don't even know if that's technically a job. So yeah, I started to look for like media types of programs that I could get into. And one of them stuck out very much in particular. The biggest thing about it was that, though, I had to move away from home. I also had to move away from home for about a year and live at school, basically. So fast forward to now. I completed a 1-year program in the media type of industry. This program had 12 courses that were split up into 2 semesters. So that was basically 6 courses per semester. One of the courses I had in my first semester was a WRIT course. So this WRIT course had us write a lot of essays. It also had us complete grammar quizzes, and all I'm going to say is thank God for good instinctual knowledge, or I don't know if that's what you would call it, but You know when like when you were like reading it like a sentence that someone wrote, and or like online, like on an article or something, and if you could tell just if something feels off about it, that's kind of the instinctual knowledge that I'm talking about. We also had a careers course where we talked about and looked at different jobs in the media industry. We had a storytelling course where we would practice writing and talking about engaging stories. We had a visual media course where we learned about terminology of cameras, different ways you could take pictures. So like we learned about aperture, ISO, shutter speed. What else did we learn about? Lighting, composition, the rule of thirds. We also took different types of pictures as well. So some of them were just following different rules of composition. Some of them were following, I took like a picture of a pine cone for my last assignment, which turned out pretty good actually. It was a macro photo. So did pretty well on it. We had an interactive media course where we learned how to use Photoshop, Adobe Premiere Pro, which is actually what I'm using to edit this video. Audio fundamentals, where we learned to capture audio, edit audio, and make different things out of the sound that we produced, and we would edit it, and like we basically learned how to use digital audio workstations, which are what DAWs are, DAWs. That was the first semester. The second semester, we had a communications course where we improve how we write and speak, as well as I learned my Myers-Briggs personality type, let's just say. I'm a pretty rare personality type. Yes, sir. And also I did a research paper, which funny thing is I was really nervous about doing research papers and getting research and citations and stuff like that. Turns out I did better on the research and the citations than I did on my actual writing, which is kind of funny because I feel more comfortable with the writing and my mechanics, I guess you could say. And I wasn't nearly as comfortable and confident with my research and citation creating. We had a second careers course where we learned about terms associated with running a business. We had many guest speakers come in to talk to us about their jobs, the pros and cons of their jobs, and advice that they had for us about their fields, about just really any advice and pros and cons for their job. So we did an interactive media and design 2 course where we learned about video game terminology and even made our own robots in a 3D environment called Cinema Maxon 4D. We also were somewhat taught to how to animate some of the objects and robots, so that was pretty cool too. It got me interested into wanting to learn how to do some animations for 3D modeling. We also had a second visual media course where we learned about taking video using gimbals, so like phone gimbals. Mostly though, used DSLR cameras to take video for projects. We also, for our final project, I kind of made like almost like a music video a little bit, but it was based off of a song. We had a performance class where we proved the way we speak. We performed elevator pitches, written speeches that we made, and voice acting, which was pretty cool. That we actually did some voice acting in the last course that I will talk about in just a second, and other stuff as well, but that we did in that performance class. In the collaborative media productions course, my group put together a variety of projects skills that we learned from the whole program. So like not just this course, but all the courses that we've done in this whole program. So basically, I figured I would make this video because I wanted to make a video of some sort. I'm trying to get myself to make more videos and just to get a better grasp of how much I like making YouTube videos, seeing how good I get at them, stuff like that. I also thought it might be a good idea to make a video because I'm also proud of how far I was able to come with moving away from home for school, because I've never been away from home for that much in a year. So I did like talk with my family. I video called them, texted them, and whenever I needed to, make sure you reach out type of thing if you need some help, because there was times where I needed help, and it's a reasonable thing to do, to reach out. No one wants someone to be. People don't want you to be scared to reach out, and if you need help, because people are here for each other, and even when it doesn't, especially if you are the one who, like for me, when I was anxious about reaching out to people, it's unfortunately just how our brains are. Sometimes at least for me, my brain is like that sometimes, and it's just important to reach out, because you never know when you will find help, or some type of help, whether it be just talking to someone, or just getting the stuff off your chest, whatever it may be. Because remember, this is the first time I've ever lived on my own, so my family did come to visit me, so thank you to them. I won't mention any names or anything like that, because I don't think that they necessarily want to know who. They don't want people to know who they are from YouTube and stuff like that. And honestly, especially when I was moving in at the start of the program, I didn't think I was gonna make it past 3 days. I don't know why 3 days was the time period that I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to make it past 3 days of living on my own. Sometimes our brains are just weird like that, where they make us think things that just scare us. But you don't need to believe that, because at least that's what my brain does to me sometimes, or often with anxiety. Yeah, it makes you think things that aren't true, just like how some people say thoughts aren't facts, and emotions do eventually go away. So yeah, so it makes you. I'm sure this part at least is relatable to a lot of people, that your brain makes you think that you can't do what you can do, whether it be living on your own, going to school. It can even be like the most, like what people can be say, simplest things, like getting a job and like going to a job interview, or could even be just like going out for a run. That might sound like, to some people, that's really easy, but for people like me, some of the anxiety that I face can be some of the simplest things, and simple does not necessarily mean easy. I think that's something that's saying that I've heard from before. I think I even saw it as a notification from the Calm app that I have. I also made friends that I still talk to this day, even though that we live in different areas of the world, or different places. That we can't just walk to each other's houses and stuff. It's nice that I still have friends that even if I haven't really reached out to them as much as they have reached out to me. But for me, before going into this program, I had too much time for myself, and because I had too much time for myself, that I didn't actually plan anything. I didn't execute any different plans that I had. As a result of that, and the way that my brain is, I wasn't doing so great. But going to school really helped me, even if I don't always realize how much it has helped me. I probably haven't realized that yet. Like, probably haven't realized all the different things that it helped me with. It was hard to live on my own, but it did help a lot. It helped me with a variety of things and my confidence. Ever since I got back from school, I've been more productive. I still have some of the habits that I had from before going to school, but I mean, I think that's probably normal. If you've done something for so long, had habits for so long, it's hard to get rid of them. So yeah, I've been much more active, productive, and safe to say, going back to school was a good decision. So yeah, that's basically all I have for this video today. Thank you guys for watching, or when I say you guys, thank you everyone for watching, because I know that I don't know that everyone would want to be called guys, even though it used to be a common saying, but I mean, hey, I think the term everyone, or the word everyone, is probably a bit of a safer, more welcoming word. So yes, thank you everyone for watching. It's been Trevosser Trevor, and I'll see you all in the next video.